All right, guys, today I'm going to be teaching a class on how to find a day trading mentor. And specifically because mentorship has been a big part of my life as far as doing anything pretty much. Back in the days when I first started my first blog, I found a mentor. I started day trading. I started drop shipping. I tried a lot of different things over the years, affiliate marketing. I would always look for mentors. And when you're getting into day trading, of all things, and you're a beginner, well, you're definitely going to need somebody that can teach you the ropes of how to do all this stuff in the very beginning. Because when you look at a lot of things like trading charts and how to execute orders and all that kind of stuff, you're going to need somebody that can walk you through the process, hold your hand, stand over your shoulder, and teach you all these basic things. Because it's very easy, especially in day trading, to make a big mistake, and the last thing you want to do is make a mistake that will cost you a ton of money because you just didn't know some basic functionality or how a trading chart worked or fundamental analysis, technical analysis, stuff like that. So having a mentor is a key piece to being successful as a day trader. And in this video, I'm going to give you my 5 tips to finding a mentor. And then at the end of the video, I'll be sharing who my mentor is and talking a little bit about them, what they do and why I like them and stuff like that. So we'll get into this video. So let's get started. But first, the first thing we want to do is talk about what is a day trading mentor? What is this person? What do they do? What are they? So a day trade mentor is someone who teaches a specific trading method that aligns with your overall goals. So this is going to be a person who you find, who you follow because they teach a specific strategy or method that you like, that aligns with what you want to achieve in your life. And I'll be honest, when I was first getting started, I found my mentor actually really easy. That's how I got into a lot of this stuff. But I also did look at other people to see their strategies, to see how they taught, how they were as a person. And I did a lot of that stuff for a few months before I actually settled on my specific mentor. But I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. So basically, you want to find the person that aligns with you and your goals. You just don't want to pick anybody, honestly, because it seems like it'd just be easy to pick anybody. But to me, there's a method to the madness to it all. And there's specific people. I look at specific things and stuff like that. So that's what I want to get into, and that is the 5 tips to picking the right day trading mentor. This person should be the person that fits me and all of that. So let's get into that. Let's get straight into this here. So number 1, their strategy aligns with your trading goals. Now, I kind of alluded to that when I talked about the definition of a day trader, but I actually didn't just pick the first strategy that I saw. So for example, if you liked the momentum based strategy that is a day trading strategy that is like, say, a micro pullback, which is my strategy, that is what I decided on after a few months of time of trading different things. That's what I decided because it fit really good with me. And the reason it fit good with me is because I wasn't the person that could just throw a bunch of money in something, let it sit there. I don't have time to watch the money move around in the market. And then you have more things like exposure risk and stuff like that are going to be problems. I run a full-time business. I don't have time to sit there and look at a stock chart all day. I got to be able to get in, get out, and move on with my rest of my day. That is me. That is how I operate as a person, because I can't sit there and go through and sit there and watch all that stuff all day. So actually in the mornings works really well for me to do this. And that's when day traders and doing a day trading strategy like the one I trade works really well, is early morning, 7 a.m. in the morning typically is when I start trading. So that aligns with my goals, and that's aligning with me as a person. And I've tried different strategies, honestly. I tried swing trading for a little while there, and I had some success with it, I will say, but it wasn't like it was worked really well for me, because what I found myself doing, I was kind of paying attention to the things I would do. And my problem was I'd be at work and I had to work on stuff. And yeah, I'm sitting at my desk and stuff like that. I own my own business and stuff. But the problem I was having was I was constantly switching between work and looking at stock charts and stuff like that. And that really didn't work well for me, because I'm trying to get a lot done and you're trying to focus on two things at one time. And if you know, trying to focus on, well, two different things at one time, that can be pretty tough to do. And so after about a week or two of trading that strategy, I was pretty much like this. It just didn't work for me. It didn't fit the overall goals and my lifestyle and stuff like that. So that strategy just didn't fit well. So I found that being able to get in real quick for a few minutes, make a trade, and get right back out was great for me, because I could get in and I could get right back out, and I wouldn't have to worry about looking at stock charts all day. And in most cases, I would have most of my trading done before I even went to work, except for if I decided to trade at the 9:30 opening bell, then I would be at work. Now, honestly, I have the ability to trade at work because I own the business. So I have that. It's not like I'm working for another company and I'm trying to do it on their time. Obviously, if that was the situation, I wouldn't do that. But since I own the business, I have the ability to do that. So just, that's just my situation, and it works for me to do that. So overall, so that's the first thing. There's the strategy, the person that you're looking at, their strategy aligns with your goals, with what you're trying to teach. So that's the first thing, is we have to look at the different strategies. And when I was a beginner, honestly, I didn't know what my strategy was. I didn't even know that you had to have a strategy, really. I thought you just got in there and you just started buying up shares of something and you hope for the best, I guess. I didn't know that, but honestly, now I know that, So I had to take the time to look at different strategies and see what worked for me. And that took time, and just trying to find people that would really teach those things, and you would try to implement them in a simulated trading account and just see if it worked for you. So that was the first thing I did, as I made sure that strategy aligned with my goals and what I was trying to achieve. And honestly, I want that person, that person is going to be doing the things that I eventually want to be doing. So that was probably the reason I was choosing that person as well. So if that person was doing exactly what I want to do, that's the person I want. But we'll get more into that here as we go. So number 2, does their personality align with me? This is a big one, and probably something a lot of people don't think about when they're choosing a mentor, because honestly, you have to have somebody that fits the way you are as a person. So for example, if I came to somebody's YouTube channel and I'm seeking out a mentor, and the first thing they're showing me is they got the big house with the Lamborghinis and they make millions of dollars every day trading in the market, and they're just, throwing all this out there like they're this Mr. Big Shot and stuff like that. That is like the biggest, to me, that's like turn around and run away. Do not get near that person, because I do not like that person as a personality, I should say. I mean, they're fine, but that's not the personality for me. That's not what I want. I want someone who is an everyday person who acts just like me and gives, does the same things I pretty much do. I mean, they're not going to be exactly like me, but they're going to be close, So I live in Midwest Ohio. I run a small business. I have a family, and I have my own house, and I do my own, I want to live a comfortable lifestyle, but I don't want to brag about everything that I own. I don't want someone that brags about, how much money they make and all that kind of stuff. It's okay to show how much money you make, but it's a whole nother thing to brag when you start showing off, well, here's all the cars I own, and here's the mansion I have, and, this is how much land I have, and this is what I can do because I'm a millionaire trader. And honestly, if that person has that personality, I don't want them. So I focus on people who have personalities similar to mine. If they don't have something that's similar to my personality, I don't want them around me. I want to have that person that has that personality similar to mine and is not going to do it to show off and all that kind of stuff. Also, I look at age as well as part of this particular one. Someone who's probably closer to my age range, who's not like that 20-something just getting into trading and who got lucky and made $1 million. That's great that they did that, but they don't have anything in common with me as a person. So maybe if you are that 20-something year old person, that might be somebody you might gravitate towards a little bit more because they are that person that you could find similar interest in. So now, honestly, you don't have to pick the same mentor I have. I pick them because of that reason. That's one of the reasons that draws me to them. So personality is a big piece of that. So that is my number 2 here is personality. So are they similar to me or are they not? So, all right, number 3, do you have to pay or can you learn for free? So this is a big one for me. I'm somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of money to just throw around on a $2,000 or $3,000, $5,000 trading course and just hope and pray that that's something that works out, that they have a course that is going to work out for me. I mean, that's great that they have that course, but I don't have just $4,000 or $5,000 to throw at something like that. I mean, let alone just $1,000 to throw in a Webull account and start trading with it and making some money. So that to me is pretty important. So, I mean, I don't mind if they have a program that they can teach, but I'm looking for someone who's willing to teach enough for me to get started, and eventually I can transition over to a paid program with them where they might have some mentoring or something along that lines. And the mentor I'm going to talk about today at the end of this video does have that. He has those abilities, he has those things, and that's why I like him a lot. One of the reasons I like him a lot, because he teaches a lot of stuff for free and you don't have to pay for it right up front, because if he's somebody that, if I'm looking at a trader and he says he's on YouTube and he says, I got this great trading program, but I don't teach anything for free. So I'm just going to tell you what I do, but I'm not going to teach you anything how I do it. I'm going to be a little standoffish with that, I'll be honest, because I don't know your strategy. I don't know what you're teaching. I don't know how you're doing it. I want to know a little bit. I know some people think, well, no one's going to give everything away for free. And I understand that. But I'm just saying, give me a piece of the pie just so I can have a taste, so I can start to use it and play around with it to start deciding if this is the strategy for me. Because honestly, I want to know that, because I don't know about you, but no one wants to throw $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 into throw $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 away and just say, well, I tried that guy's strategy, it wasn't for me, and now I have to go find somebody else. You don't want to do that. So I like to find somebody who's willing to teach enough. And typically I find my mentors on YouTube because this is how I can get a way to understand who they are as a person when they talk, how they act, who they are, and that kind of gives you that peripheral vision of that person as you're watching them, and you can kind of start to learn, well, maybe this person is kind of like me. They talk like me, they look like me, kind of like, even they act like me, and they trade the strategy and they're doing exactly what I want to do, but they're just further down the road, and I would love to learn from that person. So to me, if I got to pay up front and they're not teaching me anything, they're just giving me a lot of what but not a lot of how, then I'm going to stay away from them personally. So that would be number 3 here. So All right, number 4 is to test their strategy in a simulator. So when I'm looking at somebody, I want to test their strategy. I want to take it for a spin, kind of like what I'm doing right now. So all the training I'm doing right now, I'm trading in a cash account. So all the videos I'm putting out right now are all simulated account transactions. I'm not actually trading real money yet. But I'm testing their strategy out. So I'm kind of in that part of this whole phase where I'm testing the strategy out, and I've had some success with it. I've been doing pretty good. I mean, I was right around, I was up at one point about 25% on the $1,000 I put in, so about $250. It's since gone down about $100 since Friday. And you could check that video out. It's right before this one, actually. But honestly, I want to take their strategy for a test spin and see how it fits with me. And so what I've been doing every day is getting up at 6:30, getting out to my computer, following the strategy this person has laid in place, and then going through the steps and trading it and seeing how it works out and figuring out, okay, this works. Does this work? Does it not work? And when I found that with the mentor I have, their strategy fits perfectly with what I'm trying to do. And they do a lot of the things that they say as a person. So as that person, they're teaching what they, as a person, preach. And that is important. If there's somebody who's telling you, hey, I trade this strategy, but then they don't, and then they go out there and say, okay, you have to day trade this strategy, but he actually swing trades. Well, now we got a problem, because it's kind of conflicting as far as a mentor. They're teaching one strategy, but they're doing something completely different. I want somebody who's living what they're teaching. And if that person can't do that, then it's obviously a red flag for me to not teach, to follow that person. So that would be number 4. I want to test their strategy. I want to get out there. I want to get in the weeds, and I want to try it. And on top of that, I want to trade the same stocks that they were doing. I remember when I first got started with this particular mentor, one of the first things I wanted to figure out was, how do they pick the stock that they're going to trade that day? How did they find it? And that was a little bit of a trick in itself, just to figure out the stock. And I would just find a successful day when I could pick the same stock that they were picking. And figuring this all out, as a new trader was kind of impressive. I thought, it may not sound to someone who's been around for a while, but as a new trader, that's pretty good. When, hey, I traded that same stock today as them, and I didn't have to go have someone tell me that. I actually figured it out for myself, and I tested their strategy, and I made some money with it, in a simulator, and I've been doing it for a while, and it's starting to really work. So now I feel a little more confident that what this person is telling me is going to work when I actually apply real money to it. So that's what I found as a new trader that's working really good for me. So that's number 4, test their strategy in a simulator, and make sure that they're a person who is doing that strategy and teaching that strategy, and not trying to tell you one thing and doing something completely different. So make sure that is what you're doing there. So that's what I look for anyways. So number 5 is choosing only one mentor. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you want to choose only one mentor. You don't want to have 2 or 3. Well, I like this guy because he teaches me this, but then this guy over here teaches me this strategy, and then this guy over here teaches me this, and all of a sudden you're watching 3 or 4 mentors, and you're combining all of this information that is really, not meant to be that way, So I would pick one mentor, one person that is going to teach you this method, your method, the one that you want to learn, and go from there. Now, I will say one other thing. Don't try to create your own method here, because I will tell you that right now. That's something that almost happened to me, where I saw one guy over here teaching this method and one guy teaching this method, and I was trying to commingle those methods together and create my own strategy. And well, while you might think that you're doing something good, the people that are successful are trading these strategies that they have for a specific reason. You can go out there and try to create your own strategy, but that's going to be extremely tough to do. Very tough to do. And in fact, I don't recommend that because it can be really hard to get your own strategy because you don't have, and the reason for that is because you don't have enough metrics and understanding of the market to really make that happen. So that's why I recommend you pick only one mentor, one person that you can follow their strategy, what they teach, and then just stick with it. Don't try, well, I learned everything from this guy and I'm going to go run over to this YouTube channel and learn what this guy has. And I know it can seem like you get a little bored with it because it might be very repetitive stuff. And it is. It's very repetitive stuff. But it takes a long time for this stuff to really get ingrained in your mind as a person, as a new trader. And sometimes the simplest of details can be like water off the back of back of a duck. It seems like it's just a simple idea, but then until you apply it and you really learn the inner workings of those details and how it comes together, it's going to take time for your strategy to really formulate and to get good at it. So I recommend choosing one mentor, one person, and then going with that person and just, until you find success with that mentor, and if you over time can't find success with that mentor, you've tried and tried and tried and tried, either A, you need to switch strategies, or you just need to keep working at it until you figure it out, because there is, so many different options and ways to trade things, but you don't want to get caught up in trying to trade 20 different strategies from 20 different people. It's just going to mess you up, and it's going to take you a lot longer to see success in the end. So there was my 5 tips and everything. So you might be wondering, who is my mentor? Who am I using as a mentor? And honestly, I would never get into day trading unless I had this mentor, because I would have never figured out all this stuff, because I'll be honest, I've looked at it before this and I was like, this is too confusing. I just don't know none of this stuff. How am I ever going to be able to do all of this stuff and learn all of this stuff if I don't have somebody that can teach me? And, the way I found it was I was surfing through YouTube one day and I was kind of looking up some stuff on stock stuff, and it was kind of interesting. Well, then all of a sudden I came across a guy by the name of Ross Cameron. So who is Ross Cameron? Ross Cameron, he's been day trading now for many, many years. I would say better than 10 years. I don't know exactly when he got started, but I know when I watch his videos, his trading, the amount of time he's been trading that he shows on his charts has been since 2016. So, you add that up, it's been 8 years or better. So I would say he's been doing since like 2010, maybe about that time, I think, is when he got into it. But Ross is a great guy, and he does a lot of things. Number one, he teaches a very specific strategy that I've been trading for a while. And that strategy I trade is a micro pullback. And he's been teaching that. Now he teaches some other strategies, like ABCD patterns and stuff like that. He teaches bull flag and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many different trading strategies and stuff that he teaches, and mine is a micro pullback. That's the one I'm starting with right now. Now I will eventually learn other strategies that this guy teaches, because there is a ton of different strategies, but right now I'm just starting with a micro pullback because it's a fairly simple strategy to learn. On top of that, Ross is a very straightforward person. He acts a lot like me as a person. He has a family, he lives in his own house, he has a business. That's a lot of what I have. I'm a business owner, but I'm looking to make some extra money on the side. Maybe even go full-time someday at it. I don't know. That's a hope anyways, or a dream of mine. But I think if I'm going to get there, Ross is that guy to teach me how to do it, because he does a lot of the things. Ross is not one of those guys who's going to show off his house and Lamborghinis. He's not that type of person. He's not trying to get you, sucker you into a $5,000 trading program or anything like that. And best of all, he gives a lot of stuff on his entire YouTube channel for free. And I recommend that you go check out his YouTube channel here at Day Trade Warrior. I definitely recommend that you go check out his YouTube channel. He has a great YouTube channel. He puts videos out almost nearly, I would say, every day. In fact, he just put one out here this Saturday morning, and he was talking about pre-market and after-market hours. He also goes through his trades and all that kind of stuff, what he's doing. Just a ton of videos. I mean, you could sit there and watch what he has for hours and hours and hours and hours. He just has so much great stuff. On top of that, he also has his own trading program as well. Now, honestly, I have no affiliation with his trading program. I'm not making any kind of affiliate marketing deal with him or anything like that. I'm not making any money off of this for saying any of this stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm picking this because I have been following this guy since the beginning of March of 2024, and this guy has taught me everything I know, and I haven't paid him $1 to do so yet. And that's what I find so great about this guy. He's willing to give you almost everything he knows and not charge you $1 for it. And I've been honest, I've been looking at other YouTubers out there talking about trading and day trading and stuff like that, and no one does this just like he does. No one does this. So I find that just amazing that someone would be willing to give up all of that information and not have to charge $1 for it. I mean, thousands of dollars people would pay to learn what this guy's teaching for free online. So now I will be honest, I'm going to eventually get into this guy's trading program. I definitely want to join his trading program at some point. Right now, money's just tight for me. I can't afford it. And that's just what it is. I'm actually saving money up to do that, to fund my account, to pay for this program. And it's going to cost a little bit of money. I understand that because anytime you have an online course where they're teaching you how to make money, and this guy's successful, honestly, he makes a lot of money. He teaches this. He's obviously successful. He makes a lot of money. I mean, I think he just made $40-some thousand last month, I think, on his YouTube. Yeah, $44,555. I'm not saying that to brag or nothing, but that's his results. And I think if somebody's getting those kind of results, and I'm watching him day trade, and he will show you his recaps on his trades. And that might sound like pie in the sky to you guys, and I know it does because it feels like nobody can make that kind of money, really. But he does, and it's great. It's kind of interesting. He shows his audited broker statements. He's truthful. He's honest. He's not trying to sucker you into something. He's not trying to force you into his programs, which is what I love. So honestly, I will be buying his program at some point. I'm saving up to do that right now because I feel like this is, if I want to get better, I mean, his YouTube channel is going to give me the basis to get started. His programs are going to take it to the next level. So he has some really good programs here. Day trading for the basics. So this is his basic starter program. And then he goes into this intermediate program, which is day trading strategies and scalings. This program in itself, I forget. I think this one, let's see how long it is. This program is 18 hours. Just his initial basic program is almost 19 hours long. That is amazing. Now, obviously, yes, it costs a little bit of money. I'm not afraid to pay for them. I've bought expensive courses in the past. So I'm willing to pay the money if it's worth it. So, you got to invest in yourself. Honestly, at some point you will have to invest in yourself. Now, in the beginning, you don't have to do that. You can do it how you want. This is how I'm doing it. I'm learning free for right now. Eventually I may buy into these programs. So Day Trading Secrets and Strategy, this is a Warrior Pro membership. So it's not just this program. You get access to all of his courses when you buy into his membership. So, investigate that yourself. Go check out. I'll put links to all this stuff in the comments, in the description below, so you can check all this out. So, but this strategy, this course is over 103 hours long, guys. Think about that. 103 hours. I mean, it's going to take a little bit to learn all this, but this is his flagship course on small cap day trading. And he teaches a lot of stuff in here. So I recommend you go check it out. Put this on your bucket list if you're looking at getting into trading, if you're thinking that Ross is the kind of person for you. But everything you need to know, risk management, daily chart patterns. I mean, honestly, this is a lot, and it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose. It kind of can seem that way but just take a sip at a time. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking one sip. I'm not trying to drink from the fire hose. I'm just trying to, so start by what I recommend doing. I can understand that this is a lot here. His entire library of courses here. There's a lot here, 103 hours, 80 some hours. Then he's got all these other courses, honestly, too, that he has, and they're long. There are a lot of information and in-depth information here. But I recommend, if you're going to go check out Ross or any other one, start by just going to their YouTube channel first. Just subscribe to the YouTube channels and start watching. Ross puts videos out nearly every single day. Just start watching that. Figure out, is this for you? Is this really the strategy? Is this the person I want to follow? I know Ross is he's kind of got a little bit of a fruitier personality to him. I like that. He's kind of a Grateful Dead fan. I wasn't really a big Grateful Dead fan. But I used to play in bands and stuff years ago, and I kind of respect that for him. So I think that's kind of cool. But overall, he's got this great personality. He's got a lot of good stuff going for him. So I'm not trying to brag on his course or anything like that on and his YouTube channel, but definitely this is the mentor who I've chose. And it took me time. It took me a month or two to finally say, you know what? I think Ross is the guy, because everybody else I'm looking at does not do this. And I was comparing him against Ross because Ross is the guy. He's the guy that I find has the best. And in fact, you can tell by his courses. His courses are rated the best comprehensive day trading courses and by Investopedia. That's not a small feat to achieve. You just don't throw up something like this. It's not like he's throwing this course up on Udemy and selling it for $5. He has enough faith in his courses to charge the price he's charging. And I know that much about somebody who is charging a high price for their courses. He's confident enough to do that not because he's trying to just rip somebody off or something. He's got that confidence because he knows what he has is worth the money. And he has that because, Investopedia was willing to say that about him. So honestly, that is why I have chosen Ross. So if you feel like you're looking for a mentor or you would like to get into day trading, take the time, look around on YouTube. This is where I recommend to get started. Get on YouTube, start looking around, just type in day trading for beginners and see what comes up. Maybe you'll see my picture and you're looking for a mentor. I wouldn't consider myself a mentor by any means, because I'm just recording my videos to talk about my trades, to think about and rehash what my ideas were behind the trades I took as kind of a journal approach to trading and stuff like that, and just to go back over time and review my trades. So, honestly, that is why I trade the way I do, is because in my videos, in my YouTube channel, I want to trade that way. I want to trade and just share my thoughts what I'm doing. I'm putting some of these little videos out where I teach different things. Like I had one here, I talked about stocks selection and stuff like that. You can check all those videos out at my YouTube channel. Subscribe and you can follow along as well. So I hope you found this video helpful. Hopefully it will get you down the path to picking your mentor. Now I can honestly say I can't say that you're going to have results like me or anybody else. You're going to definitely have to put the time in to learn these things, figure out your risk strategy and your trade strategy and all that stuff. So it's going to take time for that to happen. So take that time, start studying, start learning, just do a little bit every day, and eventually you could see some success. Like me, I started out, I wasn't very successful in the beginning, but I've since gotten better. So if you'd like to follow along, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and check it out. And I'm glad to have you. So I'll see you in the next video.